Hello and welcome back to Planet Sport, another Planet Sport interview. I'm your usual host, Tom Parker, and today I'm joined by the guys from the University of Salford's kickboxing team. I accidentally got the kickboxing and the pole fitness mixed up in the last interview. It's definitely the kickboxing this time.
Yeah.
So we're joined by Heather and Will. So introduce yourselves. We'll start with Heather. Just give us an idea of the course you do and your position within the club.
Yeah, so as I said, I'm Heather. I'm studying animal behaviour at uni. In the club, I was committee member the year just ended. So going into next year, I'll be like alumni. So I'll still be around from time to time. But yeah, I was running it last year. Yeah.
I'm Will, 21. I've just started studying counselling and psychotherapy, so my third course switch, which is a bit awkward. I started the society in September. Really enjoyed it, got really involved, ended up on the committee, and I'll be running things alongside one of the other committee members as of September if everything goes back to plan.
Right, yeah, nice one, guys. So in terms of kickboxing itself, we'll start off with the obvious question, which is, what is kickboxing? Obviously, a lot of people might have an idea of types of martial arts and stuff like that. But in terms of kickboxing itself, you know, what can you tell us about it for people that aren't exactly familiar with the sport?
Yeah, so obviously, like I say, it's a martial art. Very similar to boxing, your punches and stuff like that. But as the name suggests, there's kicks and stuff. With our club, I don't know if this is true for every kickboxing club, but we incorporate a lot of different styles of martial arts. So obviously we'll box and kickbox, and I think we do a bit of like kung fu sometimes, and a bit of like very occasionally, groundwork, and that sort of martial arts. But yeah, it's a lot of self-defense the way we do it as well. Learn how to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of if you're going into kickboxing. A lot of people do it because it's a sport, you get fit and that, but it is a very self-defense based thing. So obviously living in a big city for students coming as well, it's quite appealing because I get a bit like scared and like Manchester at night. Having the skills around kickboxing could help you in a situation given the needs.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good skill to have in terms of, like, say, self-defense. Obviously, I'd imagine there's very strict rules on it being used for only self-defense. You can't actually use it on someone to instigate.
You wouldn't just go out and like just try and bang someone out, because at the end of the day, it's a martial arts and a sport, and to be honest, to be used in the most dire of circumstances if needs be.
Yeah, so it's very much because I've been looking to get into martial arts over the past couple of years. I just never found one to do. But I'd imagine it's quite a discipline based sport.
Yeah, massively.
It's very much about self-discipline, self-control, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like rules then, so if let's say, for example, you go to the club and someone has no idea, you know, do you have like fights with not fights, but you know what I mean? Like, will you go up against other people in like fights and stuff like that and try and, you know, how exactly does it work in terms of like competitive kickboxing? Is it if there is a competitive side?
Because I've only been there about a year, and I've not really seen anything like competitively with other unis. So what we do, we did the occasional sparring with each other, but a very light basis. Obviously, we got like lots of beginners, so like you can't just say, right, you two knock 7 bells out of each other. But Ever will probably have a better idea about the whole competitive side to it.
Yeah, within the uni club itself, we don't do, like Will says, a lot of, like, we don't compete against other unis, but we are part of an external club. We're not just Salford based. We are an off branch of Northwest Chinese Kickboxing. Right. That's our like big club, and they compete. They have like a fight team, and they go to like world championships and all that kind of stuff. They proper seriously compete. So that's always an option. Like, even if you went to Salford, you can train at the external clubs and you can compete if you really want to do it that way.
So what are the rules of kickboxing then? In terms of, obviously, football, you'll have an offside, you'll have 11 players, you know, you got to get the ball into the back of it. How exactly does kickboxing work in that aspect?
It kind of just depends what way you look at it. Because if it's like a training session, you have rules. So like for instance, with us when we're training, just like doing our like fitness routines and stuff like that, we don't do we only have the occasional water break, stuff like that, like no shoes, no socks, stuff and like that. But in an actual fight, I'm not too sure because I've never really competed in kickboxing itself. So Heather, if you want to chip in with that one, you probably know a bit more than that.
I mean, I don't know like loads because I haven't competed with the club either. Whether I do it at a later date, I'm not too sure. But I know like there's different kinds. I mean, you've got like your proper sort of full contact where you are, like you see on like the TV and stuff like that, you are fighting. We also do like point sparring, which we've done a little bit at Salford, which is a really fun way to just sort of ease into competing and fighting, if you will, where you literally it's two people and you just try and get a really quick jab in, not anything really hard, and it's just the first person to land a hit gets a point, and then you go up to like 3 or 5 or whatever to get a winner. But it teaches you speed and like agility to get the hit in without knocking each other out.
So is there a way, is there like a points, can you score points and stuff like that, or is it like judged sort of like on technique and things like that?
Yeah, I think in proper like championships and stuff like that, you have judges on like technique and like fairness and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but when we obviously like like I said before, like it's very beginner based. Like the people who join at the very beginning, like we do point sparring. So you probably get like a team of like 3 judges, just like each getting a different angle of who's sparring at the moment. So like you throw a jab, and if any contact's made, you kind of stop it, and you'd all configure together. So like, oh, I reckon they got this jab into their body or whatever, and they'll configure, and then you'd score a point based on if contact was actually made.
Oh,
so that's how you score like a point sparring session.
So in terms of people that want to join the society, maybe, what would you want people to get out of it? What if someone was to ask you, you know, I want to join this club, but what exactly am I going to get out of it? What would you say? What would you say to them in that instance?
Genuinely, whatever you want to get out of it. We have people join us for different reasons. Some people literally just want to get fit. It's just a fitness thing to them, which is absolutely fine. You can come and do that. We have people who, like Will and myself and some of the others, we train and we get the belts. We work up through the ranks, but you don't have to do that. And then you can, like I said before, take it even further. And if you want to compete at like a national or world level, eventually you can work up to that. So literally whatever you want to get out of it, we can probably provide.
We get a lot of people as well. Obviously, if you come to university, people want the the university experience itself.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they might enjoy the sport, but people tend to join societies for like the more social side of it. Yeah. So we want to, if people were to join our society, we want people to like actually become like part of like a small family, like become close, like we go out and do stuff together, like give people a sense of like I don't know, like a sense of like I said, family based on like, so might be coming from halfway across the country, don't know anyone, and you need kind of like that level of security with like a group of people that they can get to know and grow with, especially in a like competitive sport like kickboxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, socials, and you mentioned the social side of things, what sort of socials do you guys do? Do they tend to be just getting together, or is it, you know, you sort of go out with themed nights and stuff like that? How do the socials work within the club?
The most recent one, I organised a night out on Deansgate Locks, and we all went dressed as like people like camouflage and like soldier gear and stuff like that. It was a good night. I mean, it was a hectic one, but like it was a good night, and a lot of people, the people who went, did say they had a really good time, and that we're looking to do more things like that.
We've thought of the idea in the past as well, if people don't necessarily want to go out and stuff like that, of doing things like you know, Ninja Warrior, where you can go to those like training parks, and just mess about and stuff like that. Things that are maybe fitness based as well as like going out, depending on what kind of atmosphere people want.
Yeah, like you say,
people drink as well. So
yeah, exactly. I was about to bring that up. You know, like you say, not everyone wants to drink, whether that be religious reasons or just personal reasons.
It could be something simple, just like either like we'll go for a coffee or something, or like a fitness type thing, or like a climbing wall or something. Anything that just kind of gets us all together at once. And like it's like an activity. Our teamwork's a lot of would be a base for it as well.
In terms of meetings, then, how often do you guys meet? Where do you meet? Is it like you said, Heather? Is it mainly university based? In terms of, did you meet every Wednesday?
Mondays and Wednesdays at the uni.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, always 6 to 7. I think that's right. That's gone out of my head.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Thanks. Mondays and Wednesdays at the uni. If you can't make it, like I said before, we've got external clubs pretty much every day of the week, I think. So there's always something going on if you're not at the uni at that particular time. But
so whereabouts on campus do you guys practice then? Is it the sports hall or the sports complex?
It's going to be a bit up in the arms of because everything's happening next year, and obviously no classes as of yet. Me and the other committee member who are going to be running things this year, we're trying to find the best place we can do it. So we usually train in the Allerton building on a Monday. Monday? Yeah, and then we trained in the gym and the squash courts on the Wednesday, but we're looking to kind of go to a bigger area for the Wednesday because we're expecting to get quite a bigger class. So the sports hall would be ideal, but it just with other societies and that, we're just trying to get what we can get at the moment.
But hopefully, probably Allerton.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So in both of you obviously decided to choose kickboxing, and why exactly did you choose kickboxing? What was it about it? Did you do it before you went to university, or was it just something that you just stumbled across and thought, it's worth trying it out?
Yeah. I've never been interested in any other sports. I watch USC quite a lot. I always watch it if it's a big event, so I'm the big fights. I've never really taken a shine to any other sport. I tried football, wasn't very good at it. Tried rugby at one point, wasn't very good at it. But then I went to the Freshers' Fair, saw the kickboxing, and when my mate was like, we'll give that a crack. And I went to the first session, really enjoyed it, kept going back, and I started to do different kinds of. I did an MMA outside of the kickboxing society because of the kickboxing society, because I was so interested in it. I was like, I want to kind of branch out, but also I really want to remain an integral part of that committee. Right. It was a very fun club, and it was just the instructors are amazing, so it just made me want to keep coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been sort of interested in martial arts. I have technically done it before when I was about 14 for a year or two, but not at a particularly good club. So I mean, I was basically a beginner when I started at Salford. I might as well have been. But yeah, I mean, I went to uni and I looked through the societies and I saw kickboxing and I thought I'd like to try it again. And yeah, I went to the first session a couple of years ago and never looked back. Like Will says, the instructors are incredible. It is like a big family. And yeah, so just gone from there, never looked back.
In terms of, obviously we've quickly touched on this, but in terms of competitions, how would that, so if someone wanted to do the competitive side, how would they go about doing that? And sort of how many competitions are there across the year, if you've got any idea about that?
We don't really do them with the university, just because it's not an advanced. The people who go to the university, we do have a few more advanced members, but the people who join, we get a lot of people who've just never done the sport before. It'd be a bit dangerous to just kind of a few weeks in, get out competing. But we do a lot of them. I've never personally been yet. Is it Cheadle?
Cheadle, Bolton, all around Manchester.
Yeah, so the external places where we're associated with, they're the more competition-based ones. So you probably go there, you do a few training sessions there, talk to some of the instructors about, I'd like to compete, and then see what level you're at, and then they'll probably help you sort something out.
Yeah, I mean, even at Salford, just a quick one, obviously the instructors that we have at Salford are the same as the ones at Cheadle.
Right.
And if you're at Salford, just have a word with them and just say, look, I'm interested in this. And genuinely, they will take you under their wing. They'll tell you where to go, when, and yeah, they'll help you get to where you want to be, 100%.
And in terms of the instructors themselves, I mean, I'm guessing they have a really a good background in kickboxing experience, I'd imagine.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Been black belts for probably longer than I've been alive. I bet. Yeah, they've been instructors for gosh knows how long. Yeah, they've got all the training.
Never seen such an old man do so many sit-ups before. It's quite crazy.
Who are you calling old, mate? You better hope you don't see this.
Dan would not.
It's not old.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, in terms of like the sort of the family aspect, I mean, obviously there'll be a lot of people that might be worried about how strong they are, or maybe not being able to, you know, might be not as physically able as they'd like to be to do kickboxing, which, you know, is a physically demanding sport at points. You know, you're gonna get sort of thrown to the ground sometimes or hit, you know. So for people who are probably worried about their strength, or whether they're that good with physical pain, or like, you know, physical sport really, what would you sort of say to them to ease them into it, if we go with Heather for this one?
Yeah, I mean, Salford's a great place to be for that sort of thing. Generally, no matter what your strength level or fitness level, you are welcome. We take complete beginners to even like fitness. I mean, I started, and I think our first session we did like, how many sit-ups can you do in a minute? And I did like 20, if that. And your fitness will grow. But in terms of like how like able you are and stuff like that, even if you've got like injuries or anything, we can always tailor the sessions and the movements to what you need. We've had people with like shoulder injuries. We had one this year who couldn't do certain moves because she had like something wrong with her shoulder.
Right.
I've had injuries throughout like being at kickboxing. And we tailor it to what you need. So nothing will stop you.
So, Will, in terms of injuries, then, so Heather mentioned, of course, potential injuries and stuff. Is there aspects of rehabilitation? Should you pick up an injury during sessions? You know, if you get injured, will the instructors help you in rehabilitating yourself to get back to sort of full fitness?
Oh, yeah, the instructors are really good for that as well, because obviously a big part of martial arts is you will, especially if you compete, you will get hurt. So a good portion of knowledge is how to like help come back from an injury. So like, I remember one time I did my legging I think I pulled it on a run or something. I went in, and the instructor Dan helped me tailor the fitness routine to like not put too much pressure on my leg, but to give it enough so it, like, okay, I can help build the muscle up again. So it doesn't so I just don't have like a leg that's going a bit limp.
So yeah, I've had injuries before. Sorry, just another one. Not even from kickboxing. And I've just messaged Dan or Liam, been like, look, my wrist's swollen. Like, what do I do? And they've said like, do this, put this on it, go to this place. They really do know their stuff.
They're really good as well. They're really friendly. Like, you won't go up to them and then just be like, oh, we'll just crack on. They'll take the time out of the session to make sure that everyone's okay, especially people who like need a little bit extra help. So everyone's treated at an equal level.
Well, I mean, it's definitely useful to have people that know their stuff. Obviously, a lot of people would be sort of worried about that rehabilitation aspect of it, and obviously picking up injuries is part of it, as I'm sure you guys could agree. In terms of fitness itself, how beneficial would you say that this is for your general fitness and general sort of well-being?
Oh, absolutely incredible. For your like physical fitness, your muscle, your strength, everything like that, absolutely incredible. It's better than going to the gym. They say to us all the time, like 10 minutes at kickboxing is probably better than like an hour at the gym.
Yeah.
But as well, like you touched on, like mental health. We have a lot of people, like myself included, struggle with mental health issues, anxiety, depression, that kind of thing. And it's really good for that. Obviously, endorphins from exercise, and the community as well will always have you back.
Yeah, no, I did a video on mental health myself on my YouTube channel, and one of the things that I mentioned was one of the most important things was working out or exercise, because of like what you said, the endorphins that it releases. And you know, I think a lot of people will look at it as maybe quite intense. They think, well, kickboxing, martial arts, but really, you know, it's like the same as any other club. You know, it's that family aspect of it. You know, you can meet new people, and like you said, because it's so beneficial for you physically, I think that, you know, people could definitely do with taking a look at it. Will, I know you said you were on the committee, and obviously one of the big questions for many societies this year has been what the plans are for the 2020-2021 sort of season or academic year. So in terms of plans, ideally, let's say we're back to normal in September. Ideally, what would you want the plans to be for this year?
Well, obviously, it does depend on what the government's going to tell us, especially regarding social distancing, because we are a contact sport.
Yeah.
So you can't exactly social distance whilst working on the pads with someone. But ideally, social distancing will be relaxed enough to allow contact sports. We can get back into the routine of things. I feel like during lockdown, that's what a lot of people have missed, having a routine, especially having such a fitness orientated routine. That'd be a lot better for people going back. Some people might have just completely lost it during lockdown, not really bothered, put on a bit of weight. It'd be really good for people to get back into gyms, get back in with everyone around them, everyone working towards the same goal. So ideally, like you asked what we ideally would like, just going back to normal, or as normal as we can be.
Yeah. Right, we'll sort of move on to the last question now, right. So, in terms of if someone was to come up to you and say, why should I join? Why should people join kickboxing? Why should people do kickboxing? And you had sort of 5 minutes or so to cram as much information as possible to why people should do it. What would you two say? We'll start with Will for a couple of minutes, then we'll have Heather for a couple of minutes. So what would be your big advertising points for kickboxing?
Well, it's basically all the points that we've gone over. If someone to ask me, I'd definitely bring up primarily the fitness side of it, because honestly, before I joined kickboxing, I wasn't very fit. I went to the gym a few times, but I never really went properly. But as soon as I started going, it's quite intense. It got me working out more outside of it as well, so it's really good for that. Like Heather touched upon as well, like she said, I struggle with my mental health problems coming to university, and just having that, like we've said a few times, the word family comes up, and that's another reason why people should come. Having that family there, I feel like even friends there, if you just finish a session, be like, oh, I'm just having a bit of a rough time at the minute. The people who are there would take the time out of their schedule to oh, you're right, mate. To make sure that one of their family members is okay. So family, not family, fitness, mental health. It's really good for branching out. If you want to, we can do kickboxing society, and you can get onto the committee like me and Heather have done. So that's really good for your CV. Someone can read that and be like, oh, responsibility, they're responsible, they're organised, etc. But it helped me branch out outside of the university as well into different sports. For instance, I did the MMA and I did a cage fight for charity recently, and my experience with kickboxing helped me with that as well. Right. So it helped me branch out, and I'm still planning to go back there once lockdown effect ends, so to speak. It's like the typical points of joining a society as well, because people love the social side of it, especially people who might be moving from maybe halfway across the country to even a different country. It can be such a foreign setting, and like I said before, just having that familiarity and that routine with the same people, that'd be a really big advantage. Plus, doing a sport that many people think is a bit not taboo, but a bit out there. That's a really attractive feature to it, because you can be people can be like, oh, I do football or rugby, all right, but yeah, oh, I do kickboxing. It's like, oh, that's a bit different, that. But overall, I go for, like I said, the fitness. The people there are amazing. The instructors 100% know what they're doing. They're friendly, helpful. They'll go out of their way for you. It makes you feel quite special, and even in quite a big class, you always feel like an individual, not just like one of the students. I reckon that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, a lot of what Will's just said. But yeah, we always say our slogan thing, get fit, make friends, and build confidence as well. It's really, really good for building confidence. And to reiterate what you said as well, it is something different. It's something that you don't normally come across. And genuinely, every single time I've told someone, oh, I'm a kickboxer, they've gone, oh, okay. It is just something, an extra string to your bow. Yeah. But yeah, self-defense as well. Like Will said before, you are in a potentially new city, and hopefully, obviously, nothing happens to you, but you are prepared and you feel confident in yourself that you can go out and live your life. So yeah, basically what we've said: make friends, get fit, whatever you need it for, you will get.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, guys. You've sold it really well.
Noris.
So that's all we've got time for. So thank you very much to the Kickboxing Society to take
Thank you.
time out
No worries.
to speak to us, and hopefully this video can give you guys a bit more exposure. Of course, remember to like and subscribe to Live at the Quays. Plenty more content on the way. Of course, we do have Planet Sport and Live Box, I think, is the other one. Don't quote me on that. Sorry, Dan, I forgot the name of the show. Of course, make sure to stay safe. Of course, I think face masks might be made compulsory now in most shops and places like that, public places. So obviously make sure to stay safe. We're still sort of in a lockdown in a sense. But we hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time.